best approach the follow-up? And how do you find that balance between following up and not being too desperate? As a coach, you'll be talking to potential clients in your DMs, in your emails, online, and you'll need to follow up with them to keep the conversation going. You might feel like you're being pushy by following up, especially if you heard somebody say, I'm not interested, but your persistence is really important to the sale. So don't take rejection personally, but instead develop a really solid follow-up strategy. Here's a statistic that I think is going to make a big difference in you understanding why multiple touch points are important. Only 2% of sales are made on the first contact. That means 98% of people are not buying the first time you reach out. It takes at least 5 or 6 connections before somebody is ready to say yes. So giving up after that first time or that second time or that third time, those are the things that are actually costing you sales. But how do you approach this call in the right way? I have a funny story from when I was in my corporate sales job, when I was first learning how to sell. I got really excited because there was a woman who was interested in what I offered. It was our very first connection. She seemed very excited about it. So was I, because it was one of my first big meetings. And she said, yes, I'm very interested. Stay in touch with me. This is something I want to talk to my boss about. So can you follow up with me? And then for the next 7 weeks in a row, I followed up with her once a week, every week. And by the 7th week, she said, I'm no longer interested. I was a little too eager. I was a little too desperate. So we want to find a balance between not being too desperate, which is what I was, but also letting the person know, hey, I'm still here. It's like you're a snooze alarm and they just keep hitting snooze until they're ready. But not from a desperate place, from a place of truly wanting to connect, truly wanting to check in, and truly wanting to stay in the game and let them know that you haven't forgotten about them. People like feeling that way. They like knowing that you're thinking about them. Now what I want to share with you are some tips for having successful follow-up conversations. First, don't wait too long. The sooner you follow up, the more front of mind you are in the prospect's head. Second, make it personal. Create a feeling like they already know you. Start to nurture and build the relationship. Because ultimately, if you reach out and you're like, hey, I'm just checking in. Hey, I wanted to see if you've made a decision yet. And that can feel like you're really only serving your own interests. Maybe remember something personal that you know about them and ask them about that instead. Third, build a connection early on. This could be by connecting through a shared interest or hobby. Remember some of the things that they've mentioned to you in earlier conversations you've had with them. Maybe it's something around the specific challenge they're experiencing that your service would help them with. Maybe it's just something personal that you remembered and it helps them feel connected to you. Another great way to build a connection, provide value. People appreciate when you are providing value that helps them, enhances their life in some way. They feel more connected to you because it also makes them feel like, wow, this person remembered that I was going through such and such, and they gave me something that would help me with that. That's a great way to make it personal and build a connection, and also serve at the exact same time with something that you know could truly benefit them. And here's the 4th tip that I know you're probably not expecting, but make it funny. A well-timed joke or a lighthearted comment can break the ice and help the other person feel more comfortable and let their guard down a little bit. And finally, always have a plan for the call. Most of the time in these follow-up conversations, your ultimate goal is to book a discovery call with them, where they can share some of their pain points, some of their challenges, and you can help them see the gap from where they are to where they want to be. Make sure you check out this video that has tips and tricks to help you have more effective discovery calls and close more sales.